Hey guys, what is going on? And today we have an interesting question that I got not too long ago, and it was, yo, Arnold, what are the best characters in the game that are also pretty easy to gear? Now, yes, I could have just went on and gave him the easiest 10 characters to gear in this game, but most of the characters that are pretty easy to gear, they kind of suck. But I thought this was a great question because sometimes you just want the best value character, the biggest bang for your buck, I suppose. So that is what we are going to do today. So to answer that question, we will find the top 10 best characters that are also easy to gear. Let's get into what the gear requirements are for this list, and this is mainly based off purple gear requirements, and as long as you are under 1,000 purple pieces, you can qualify to be in this top 10 list. And with that being said, let's take a look at the list, and number 10, we got...
Come on, let's do this. Number 10.
The Xion Soldier. I know you're probably already disliking the video. Why are you putting Xion Soldier on this list? Well, for a few reasons. First of all, out of the 114 characters we have in the game, Xion Soldier is dead last for purple gear requirements, making him a very fast character to gear 11. Essentially, he will need 550 pieces of purple gear, which puts him at dead last, and in terms of gold gear, to get to gear 11, he will only need one piece to get to gear 11, and in total will need 220 pieces. However, once you're at gear 11, you don't have to worry too much about putting the final touches on. We mainly are focused on getting over that hurdle to get to gear 11. Also, he is below the average for Rancor raid gear, only needing 2 pieces. And some quick facts about Xion Soldier: he's just an amazing character for the beginner player to farm, very easily accessible. He packs a great punch and even has an assist ability, which is great, especially when you're first starting off in the game. He fits in various lineups. However, towards the end game, if you are playing this game for the long run, you probably won't get as much viability out of him aside from all the ship battles. Therefore, that is why we ranked him as a knight on my Hall of Fame ranking table.
Come on, do it, I'm here. Number 9.
Number 9 on our list is Lando Calrissian. Now, it's a very amazing character nonetheless, but first of all, before we talk about the quick facts, Lando is going to need 900 purple pieces, which puts him at number 95 for purple gear requirements in this game, so very solid. This guy needs 0 pieces of gold gear, which is amazing. One less thing to worry about, so a very easy trip to get to gear 11. And besides that, you also will need 3 pieces of raid gear. And some quick facts about my boy Lando: he has an amazing mustache. And next up on the list, no, I'm just kidding, Lando has one of the most powerful AoE abilities in this game. It's a huge attack. It's perfect for beginner players who finally got access to mods, but they also do not face critical damage immunity in arenas such as Shore Trooper and Captain Phasma Zeta. And because of all this stuff, we ranked him as a master on the Hall of Fame.
Let off some steam, Bennett. Number 8.
Number 8 on our list is IG-88, yet another scoundrel that you really should consider putting in your inventory and gearing up all the way. IG-88 is number 106 in purple gear requirements, where he will need 820 pieces of gear. Now, although his gold requirement is high at 440, he only will need 1 piece of gold gear in order to get from gear 10 to gear 11, so the burden is not that difficult to get over that gear 11 hump, and he's right on average for Rancor raid gear, needing 3 pieces. And some quick facts about IG-88: he is a very deadly attacker, amazing for the AAT rate. He can apply ability block to all the enemies in arena, so a very powerful character, and he can pack quite a punch. And on top of that, he can work in many different lineups that rely on debuffs, and as a result, we ranked him as a master.
Number 7.
Number 7 on this list is going to be Grandmaster Yoda. He needs 850 purple pieces, which isn't that much because that puts him at number 101 for purple gear requirements in the game, so very low on the scale. He will only need 2 Rancor raid pieces to get to gear 11, and he will need 330 gold pieces in total, but he only needs 1 full piece to get from gear 10 to gear 11, so that is an amazing attribute to have. And some quick facts about our boy Yoda: he is a fast character. He can apply stun, he can copy the buffs from your enemies and spread it around, and can even spread foresight once you give him the Zeta ability, and he has tenacity up, which is great against all the debuffs we are having in arena nowadays. And with all that in mind, we ranked him as a master.
What killed the dinosaurs? Number 6.
Now, you and I both know Yoda had an AWOL apprentice, and that guy made it on the list at number 6, being Count Dooku. He needs 830 purple pieces, making him number 103 for purple gear requirements in the game. He needs 2 Rancor raid pieces to get to gear 11. However, in total, he will need 440 pieces of gold gear, but the good news is he only needs 1 full piece of gold gear to get from gear 10 to gear 11. And what you're getting for your gear here is the second fastest character in the game that can counterattack, apply stun and ability block on his basic alone. He can also stun up to 2 characters when using his special ability. He is deadly under a Darth Nihilus lead, works great under Darth Vader Zeta for the Rancor raid, and just works in many lineups in general. I did an in-depth review on him, and you would have noticed in that video that he was ranked as a master.
The Ice Age. Number 5.
One of the most important things for a beginner player is making sure you have a great healer, and the problem is you face a lot of healing immunity as a beginner player, meaning that your healers are kind of rendered useless. However, fortunately, Barriss Offee made it in this list as number 5 for the top 10 best character with easy gear requirements, mainly because, as we see with her purple gear, she needs 840 pieces, putting her at number 102 for purple gear requirements. She only needs 2 pieces of Rancor raid gear, 330 pieces of gold gear, which is above the average. However, you only need 1 piece to get from gear 10 to gear 11, so yet again, a very minor burden to address once you get to gear 10. And some main facts about her: she's arguably one of the best healers in the game next to Chiru Imwe. Her heal is considered a heal equalization ability, meaning it will ignore healing immunity, it will ignore shock, and you will be able to help your characters that are in need. She can also dispel buffs from your allies, which is very important that she can do on her unique. She will make Galactic War a much more manageable thing for the beginner player, and when you do give her Zeta, it's one of the best Zeta investments in this game because it's just a great all-around unique to give a Zeta to. And as a result, we gave her the title of Grandmaster.
Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers. Number 4.
4 more characters to go, with number 4 being Qui Gon Jin. Now, this guy has a lot of value, and holy cow, let me tell you what's going on here. For purple gear, this guy only needs 670 pieces, putting him at number 106 in the game. This guy also needs 0 pieces of gold gear, making it an extremely easy trip to gear 11. And with the Rancor raid gear, he is right on average, needing 3 pieces of raid gear. Qui Gon Jin is one of the best characters all around in this game, and it's a must have for a beginner player. He does good damage, has decent speed, makes Jedi very competitive, has a variety of abilities that work in every aspect of the game aside from dark battles and ships, and due to his low gear requirements and the great all-around kit, we ranked him as a Grandmaster in this game.
I just wanted the Turbo Man down. Number 3.
Now it's getting kind of dark in the top 3, with the first guy being Darth Vader. Now, you would think Darth Vader has a lot of purple gear requirements, but fortunately, his gear requirements are not all that difficult to meet. Darth Vader needs 880 purple pieces, being at number 97 in the game overall. This is something really neat. He only needs 1 piece of Rancor raid gear to get all the way to gear 11, so a very low threshold right there. Unlike a couple of the other characters, he needs 330 pieces of gold gear, and he will need 2 in order to get all the way to gear 11. So a bigger hump for gold gear compared to the other characters in terms of going from gear 10 to gear 11. And kind of like Qui Gon Jin, Darth Vader has a really good all-around kit. He can apply many debuffs, speed down. He also has probably one of the best all-around Zeta abilities in this game, and you can use him for both the AAT raid as well as the Rancor raid. And because of all this, we are putting him in the Grandmaster category.
You're not sending me to the cooler. Number 2.
Now, I wasn't lying here. The top 3 characters are all dark side characters, with number 2 being Darth Nihilus. Darth Nihilus needs 950 purple pieces, putting him at number 90 in the game overall. He is right on average for Rancor Raid gear. He will need 3 pieces of Rancor Raid gear in order to get to gear 11, and he needs 220 pieces of gold gear. But the good news is you only need 1 full piece of gold gear to get from gear 10 to gear 11. The great thing about Darth Nihilus is that he is very viable at 3 and 4 stars due to the significance of his kit, so the gear is the only thing you have to worry about, and getting to gear 11 is not that bad. He has high health, high protection, does great damage, works in literally any lineup that's out there, making him a Grandmaster in this game.
Get to the chopper! Number 1!
And lastly, the number 1 best character that is easy to gear is Emperor Palpatine. This guy is the definition of best bang for your buck. For purple gear, he needs 820 pieces, putting him at number 105 in the game. He is below average for raid gear. He needs 2 pieces of raid gear. Gold gear is even a better story because he will need only 1 piece of gold gear to get from gear 10 to gear 11, and his total gold gear requirements is 110 pieces. And again, like Darth Nihilus, there's just so much about him, but pretty much this guy has a great basic attack in terms of damage. He can apply shock, which counters so many things in this game. He can apply stun to all the enemies on the field, which can change the game drastically. This guy, along with Darth Nihilus, can be used in many different lineups, almost anything in the game, due to how versatile he is overall. This is the one character that every person should have geared up no matter what, due to how amazing he is, and because of that, he is a Grandmaster. So there you guys have it. Those are the top 10 best characters that are easy to gear in this game. Of course, the rankings are a bit subjective. You could mix and match them a little bit. Now, in case you are curious, I made an honorable mentions list. Many of these characters on the honorable mentions list are still great characters. However, I do not think they have as big of a bang as these other characters do that are under 1,000 purple gear requirements, and some of them require a lot more gold gear or a lot more raid gear than some of these characters I mentioned in the video. Now, in case you're curious, I got 2 more pictures to show you guys. This first one shows you strictly the top 10 easiest characters in terms of purple gear requirements. However, you may notice that a lot of these characters in the easiest requirement for purple gear are not all that hot, which is why I had to make a list that combines both easy to gear as well as best overall, which is why we came up with the top 10 list. And this second picture that I'm showing you shows you the top 10 most difficult characters to gear overall in this game. And you might notice that some of these characters are a bit questionable in terms of how they are overall in the game in terms of viability and usefulness, such as General Grievous. If you think this list should be rearranged differently, feel free to let me know down below so other people can get other opinions outside of just mine. And be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing. Definitely like this video if you did enjoy it. Comment down below, let me know what you guys want to see next, and we will talk again soon. Peace out!